children, welcome back to our e-class, right? So today we are going to start a fresh lesson, fresh topic, right? So before going to enter in the topic, first I would like to ask you some motivational questions, okay? So in that, first, actually on your birthdays, on some festivals, right? Will you go to prefer temples, right? Yes. And in home also we'll do some pujas, right? Means here festivals or any birthdays or any special occasions, mummy daddy's marriage anniversary or mummy's birthday or daddy's birthday, right? Or your birthday, right? Your sibling's birthday, right? Any occasion or any festival or Sankranti, Dasra, right? Ganesh Chaturthi, right? All the festivals also, the common thing is offering prayers to God, right? So here in that way, same here also, today our lesson is about the devotional paths to the divine, right? So here, see children, normally in temples we will see people are busy with singing songs about gods, right? Bhajans, kirtans, right? Qawwalis, some places, right? Or otherwise repeatedly they will repeat the God's name in some temples. For example, Tirupati, Govinda, Govinda, continuously they will tell, right? So this kind of things, okay, these are the offering prayers to God. We are deeply involving into the bhakti, okay. With the concentration, we are repeating the God's name in that time, right? So that is called as bhakti. Here bhakti means a person's personal devotion to the God, right? Bhakti means a person's devotion to the God. Okay children, I hope you understand. Okay, bhakti means the deep concentration. Whatever the puja or whatever prayer we are doing to God, that should be with the deep concentration. That is called as bhakti. Here bhakti means a person's personal devotion to the God, right? So that is called as bhakti. So in that topic here, today we are going to discuss about the module 1. This session belongs to, and in this 4 subtopics, right? The first one is the idea of a supreme God, and next a new kind of bhakti in South India, that is Nayanas and Alvars, and next philosophy and bhakti, right? And next Basavana's Veerashaivism. Okay, so these are the subtopics today's in our topic. Okay, so first the idea of supreme God. Here in the previous lessons also we are discussing about means in the 6th class, in the ancient period we discussed about different Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, how they emerged from Janapadas to Mahajanapadas, right? How they emerged in the trade sector, how they emerged in different aspects we learned, right? So after emerging in that all the aspects, people changed. Okay, previously they used to pray their own gods and goddesses in different places, but after emerging, after developing in all the aspects, their beliefs also changed, right? How they changed their beliefs, right? So now we will discuss that. Okay, let me tell. So in that way here, people developed in the different aspects, and at the same time their thoughts and beliefs also changed. Previously they used to pray their own gods and goddesses. Okay, some gods are belongs to the nature, right? Fire, rain, right? Air. Okay, means like that some gods belongs to the nature, and sometimes after some time God belongs to the Shiva, the early form of Lord Shiva, Pashupati, right? So these are the forms. Means generation to generation, period to period, their thoughts are changing, their beliefs are changing about the God, right? So in that way here we can say how people are changing. And after developing all the aspects, their beliefs also changed. In that time, how they felt, people are not equal. Okay, all people are not equal. By the birth, the social privilege will be go to the people, right? By the birth, they changed their social privileges. In that way, some people belongs to noble families, nobles or high caste families, right? So in that way, people changed, means as per Varna system also. Okay, as per Varna system also, in our society, some people treated as higher respect, and some people treated as low respect, less respect, right? So in that way here, people are felt uneasy. That time, people were felt uneasy. They were not satisfied with these kind of things. Okay, so based on that, people attracted to other religions, right? People attracted to the another religions. Means what are that? Here we can say Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, Buddhism and Jainism, actually we learned in previous class also, in 6th class ancient period, how Buddhism was developed, how Jainism was developed, right? What are their principles? How they are used to follow that principles, right? How they are used to pray to God, right? So all those things we discussed in the previous class. But here, what I am trying to tell you is, all these kind of differences, higher caste, lower caste, right? So based on these preferences, people felt uneasy that time. Okay, for that reason, they were attracted to the another religions, Buddhism and Jainism. They used to follow. And one more thing, actually, to get rid of the life cycle, here people used to believe any living thing should cross the countless life cycles of birth and rebirth. Okay, so in this Buddhism and Jainism, without any differences, without any practices, right? Only to the personal effort, we can get rid out from that life cycle. Okay, they thought like that, right? So like that, they changed. And the Bhakti movement also, actually Bhakti movement was advocated from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, from our Puranas we can learn the things, right? That Bhakti was advocated from the Bhagavad Gita only. So from that time, the major gods, the supreme gods, Durga, Vishnu, Shiva, these are the major gods, right? So from that time onwards, people used to pray that gods as their main gods, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Goddess Durga, right? So actually here what happened, the people started to pray, but in that way also they thought it is to get rid of from the life cycle, it is not the way. We need to involve more in the devotional path, right? So that also advocated from Bhagavad Gita only. Here this Bhakti movement was adopted by, means this Bhakti culture was adopted after some days by that Buddhism and Jainism people also, who have followed that Buddhism and Jainism, that people also adopted this tradition. What tradition? Bhakti tradition. Bhakti means they are involving completely, right? Their soul and their mind, everything involving into the God. So complete concentration, they are praying to the God. They are offering prayers to the God. So that is called as Bhakti. Means here already I said, a person's personal devotion to the God is called as Bhakti, right? If you see in our houses also, for example, I will tell you one thing. In our houses also, our grandmothers, grandfathers will be there. After bathing, they will sit in front of puja room and they will pray for some time. They will close their eyes and continuously, without any sound, they will repeatedly, they will say the God, and they will catch one Rudraksha mala or Chandana mala in their hands, and they use it to do like that, right? Means what they are doing? continuously with deep concentration they are praying to the God. They are offering praise to the God, right? So these all the things will happen in bhakti movement. Okay, for that reason bhakti, that movement was adopted by Buddhists and Jainists also after the period. Okay children, here children, the second topic is a new kind of bhakti in South India, that is about Nayanas and Alvars. Before going to enter in the topic, here the first subtopic, the idea of a supreme God. In that subtopic, what we discussed, they fixed their God, right? They fixed their main God as Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu and Goddess Durga, right? So here coming to a new kind of bhakti in South India. Here 7th to 9th century CE, in between that period in the South India near Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, they developed new bhakti movement. Okay, that was led by Nayanas and Alvars. Here Nayanas means the saints devoted to Lord Shiva, and Alvars means saint devoted to Lord Vishnu, right? Here two categories we can consider. Here in that way, here these Nayanas and Alvars are from different backgrounds, different castes also, including untouchables. Okay, for untouchables also in our textbook they have given one example, just like Panars and Panars, right? So like that we have different caste people came and they emerged as a group and they become they led the bhakti movements. Those are Nayana and Alvar. Nayana belongs to the Lord Shiva and Alvars belongs to Lord Vishnu, right? So here one more thing is Nayanas. In the Nayanas there are 63 important Nayanas are there, and in that they are from different backgrounds, just like untouchables and soldiers, pottery makers, weavers, hunters, Brahmins, different kinds of people are there, right? So in their culture they wrote so many songs, right? And in that important Nayanas also, important Nayanas, here we have different categories of people are there. Okay, means in that they wrote so many songs. In their songs compilations also we can see Devara and Tiruvakakam. These are the two important things in their songs, right? And next coming to the Alvars, there were 12 Alvars are there. In that the important Alvars are Nammanvar, Periyalvar and his daughter Alvar, Andal, right? Those are the important Alvars, and their songs compilations we can see in the Divya Prabandha, right? So here different songs they wrote, they composed, right? They spread it. Actually they strongly believed in bhakti we can reach the God. Okay, we can get rid of from our life, means we can get the attainment. Okay, like that they believed strongly in the gods in their bhakti movement. Okay, and here next coming to 12th century and 13th century, Pandyas and Cholas, they built different temples. Okay, they built different temples in different areas beside the Shrenis. So here we can see so many writings of hagiography. Means here hagiography means writing about the saints, right? Just like a biography. Okay, so we can see that kind of things also, and we can see different composers of songs, right? We can see all the things about, means so many writings about the bhakti movement. Okay, so these are all about the bhakti movement. Here Nayanas and Alvars are main role players in this bhakti movement in the South India, right? Those are from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Okay, this is about the South Indian bhakti movement. Okay, they spreaded a different kind of bhakti, means here different backgrounds. Nayanas also different backgrounds, and Alvars also they are coming from equally divergent backgrounds. Okay, so we can see the different kinds of people in this Nayanas and Alvars, right? Children, here the page from the manuscripts. I am showing you a slide. The page from the manuscripts of a South Indian manuscript of the Bhagavad Gita, right? A page from the manuscripts from South Indian Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and next, a bronze image of Manickava Sagar, right? So here, this is from Alvars, right? In Alvars, I said na, the best known among them were Appar, Sambandar, Sundarar and Manickava Sagar, right? So in that, here this bronze image belongs to the Manickava Sagar. Children, once see here, I am showing you, this is a composition of Manickava Sagar, right? Manickava Sagar, the composition, this is a few lines I have given here. Once read and try to understand that meaning, right? And next, the subtopic is philosophy and bhakti. Shankara, one of the most influential philosophers of India, was born in Kerala in the 8th century when bhakti movement started, right? He was an advocate of Advaita, or the doctrine of the oneness of the individual soul of the Supreme God, which is the ultimate reality. He thought that Brahman, the only or ultimate reality, was formless and without any attributes. He considered the world around us to be an illusion or Maya, and preached renunciation of the world and adoption of the path of knowledge to understand the true nature of Brahman and attain salvation, right? And next, Ramanuja, born in Tamil Nadu in the 11th century, was deeply influenced by the Alvars. According to him, the best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Vishnu. Vishnu in his grace helps the devotee to attain the bliss of union with him. He propounded the doctrine of Visishtadvaita, or qualified oneness, in that the soul, even when united with the Supreme God, remained distinct. Ramanuja's doctrine greatly inspired the new stand of bhakti which developed in North India subsequently. Here, children, we have given about two persons. One is Shankara and one is Ramanuja, right? And next, here, children, I showed you, I explained about the two persons, right? One is Shankara and one is Ramanuja, and they both are from South India only, right? Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Okay, so in that way here, let me tell you about Basavana's Veerashaivism. Okay, so here Basavana's Veerashaivism also, this was emerged in the 12th century. Okay, mid 12th century in Tamil Nadu, right? And it was emerged Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, both the states, right? In that here, Basavana's Veerashaivism, actually Basavana and his companions, okay, Basavana and his companions, Allama Prabhu and Akka Mahadevi, okay, they both were his companions, and they developed the movement of Basavana's Veerashaivism. As per that, they argued strongly, okay, they argued strongly with the people about the equality of the people. Okay, all people are equal, and about the women also, women situation, women face also, means about women also they discussed with the in this moment, right? So here about the women and about the equality of the people, they strongly argued in the society, and they emerged as a movement, right? This is about the Basavana's Veerashaivism. So let's once revise. Let me revise once the total topic. Here today we discussed about 4 subtopics in that the idea of supreme God. Actually, people wants to fix their main God in that time. Okay, after emerging in all the aspects, they want to fix a fixed God. They want to fix a main God as their God, right? So they decided Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and Goddess Durga are their main gods. Okay, and the people are not equal in all the aspects. From their birth only, the social privilege will be changed. So this will not be happy with all the people. For that reason, they are attracted to the another religions. Those are Buddhism and Jainism. So in that Buddhism and Jainism also, here what happened? The people adopted the Bhakti movement. Okay, after a long gap, that Buddhist and Jainists also adopted the movement of Bhakti. Bhakti means a person's personal devotion to the God, praying with deep concentration, right? So after that, a new kind of Bhakti in South India. In the South India, here Nayanars and Alvars, 2 movements. Okay, 2 groups. Here Nayanars means saints devoted to the Lord Shiva, and Alvars means saints devoted to Lord Vishnu. These are the 2 movements. Okay, so here all different, from all the different groups, from all different areas, people emerged as a group and they led this movement. Okay, including untouchables, including pottery makers, weavers, hunters, soldiers, Brahmins, different caste people, different caste belongs to be people emerged as a group, and they wrote so many songs, they composed so many songs, right? Here coming to Nayanars, there are 2 main compilations. Those are Tevaram and Tiruvakakam, right? In their main Sambandar, Adar and Manivakkasagar, right? Those are the important people. And next coming to Alvars, there are 12 important Alvars are there. In them also, they also belongs to the different divergence of the people, equally divergent people. So in them also, they also composed so many songs. Their songs will be compiled in the Divya Prabandhakam, right? So in them, these are the 2 important movements in the South India. And after that, philosophy and Bhakti. Here these 2 topics means interrelated, right? And in the philosophy and Bhakti also, I have given the information about 2 persons, Shankara and Ramanujan, and both are one is devoted to Lord Shiva and one is devoted to Lord Vishnu. They strongly believed the gods and they prayed, right? So, and next coming to Basavana's Veerashaivism. This is also emerged in the mid-12th century in South India only, right? In the 2 states it was emerged, this movement, Basavana's Veerashaivism, like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, both states. And he and his companions, Basavana and his companions, Alama Prabhu and Akka Mahadevi, right? They fought for the people. They strongly argued about the equality of the people, and about the women also they argued, right? So these are the subtopics today we completed in this module 1, right? I hope you understand the topic. Okay, so now the time is for the task. Your task is read some shlokas, and here in video clipping also I have showed you one composition from Manivakkasagar, right? So read that kind of things and try to understand, collect some such kind of compositions and try to understand and write that meaning. Okay children?